I've always been a skeptic. Ghosts, spirits, the supernatural. These were all just fabrications of overactive imaginations as far as I was concerned. I had a rational mind and believed in things I could see, touch, and explain. At least, that was the case until the winter of 2019. That winter changed everything. I worked as the night manager at a small, aging hotel on the outskirts of a quiet Midwestern town. The hotel had seen better days: faded wallpaper, creaky floors, and pipes that groaned like old men. There was a melancholy charm to the place, and it seemed to draw people who were running from something: a failed relationship, financial hardship, or just life itself. The hotel staff had their share of ghost stories, rumors of apparitions, and unsettling encounters drifted through our break room conversations. There were tales of footsteps echoing through empty halls, lights flickering without reason, and whispers in rooms thought to be vacant. Most of these stories were attributed to the hotel's age: creaks and groans born from old wood and faulty wiring. However, there was one room that even the most skeptical employees hesitated to approach: Room 308. Room 308 had a reputation that extended beyond the staff. Guests frequently requested room changes after a single night there, citing strange energy or feeling watched. One couple complained of hearing muffled sobbing in the corner of the room at night. A traveling salesman swore he saw a shadow standing over him as he woke from a nap. But it was the story of a woman named Mrs. Kavanaugh that cemented the room's infamy. Mrs. Kavanaugh had stayed at the hotel for a week while visiting family. On the third night, she ran down to the lobby in hysterics, claiming that a man was sitting in the chair by the window of her room, staring blankly out at the street. Security went to investigate, but no one was there. Mrs. Kavanaugh left that night, vowing never to return. Despite all these stories, I remained a skeptic. I had worked countless shifts without experiencing anything unusual, just tired travelers and the occasional odd request. That was until the blizzard of January 2019. The snowstorm that night was relentless, howling winds and sheets of snow thick enough to turn the world outside into a shapeless void. Most of the guests had checked out early to avoid the worsening weather, leaving the hotel eerily quiet. Only 3 rooms were occupied that night. Just past midnight, a man entered the lobby. He was in his 50s, bundled tightly in a thick overcoat and scarf, his face flushed from the cold. He looked exhausted, as if he hadn't slept in days. His eyes were red, and his demeanor was withdrawn. "Just one night," he muttered as he slid his ID and credit card across the counter. I processed the check-in. The system assigned him room 308. For a moment, I hesitated, my mind flashing back to the stories, but logic prevailed. I handed him the key card and offered a tired smile. "Let us know if you need anything," I said. He nodded without a word, his eyes heavy, and trudged toward the elevator. I watched the numbers above the elevator doors light up. 1, 2, 3, before the doors opened and closed. The storm intensified as the night wore on. The wind lashed at the windows, a relentless, mournful wail. I busied myself with paperwork and restocking supplies, the monotony comforting in the quiet lobby. Around 2:30 a.m., the phone rang. The harsh sound startled me from my daze. "Front desk, how can I assist you?" I answered. For a moment, there was only static. Then a man's voice, low, trembling, and strained. "There's someone in my room." I straightened, my pulse quickening. "Sir, which room are you in?" "Room 308. He whispered, his voice barely audible over the static. "Please, I need help." A chill ran through me, but I kept my voice steady. "Stay where you are, sir. I'm coming up." I grabbed the master key and made my way to the elevator, the eerie quiet of the hotel amplifying each step. When I reached the 3rd floor, the hallway was colder than the rest of the building. My breath misted in front of me, hanging in the still air. Room 308 was at the end of the hall. I knocked gently. "Sir, it's the front desk. Is everything all right?" Silence. I knocked again, louder this time. "Sir, nothing." The silence pressed against me, heavy and suffocating. I slid the master key into the lock, and the door clicked open. The room was dark, save for the soft orange glow of the street lamp through the partially drawn curtains. The bed was perfectly made. The chair by the window, the one Mrs. Kavanaugh had described, was empty. The room was freezing, an unnatural chill that seeped into my bones. "Sir," I called out, stepping further inside. My voice sounded small, swallowed by the stillness. The bathroom door was open, revealing nothing but stark white tiles. The closet door stood slightly ajar. I opened it fully, revealing only vacant hangers. The room was empty. I stood there, the weight of the silence pressing in on me. My heart thumped loudly in my chest, each beat amplified in the quiet. It made no sense. Where could he have gone? I returned to the front desk, bewildered. I checked the system again. Room 308 still showed as occupied. I reviewed the security footage. The man had entered room 308 earlier, but there was no footage of him leaving. It was as if he had simply disappeared. I called my manager, and together we scoured the hotel, Every floor, every room, even the maintenance areas. We found no one. When the police arrived, they took my statement and reviewed the footage. They searched the room again and found nothing. The next day, I received a call from the police. The name and credit card the man had used were traced as someone who had died a year earlier. A heart attack, they said, in a hotel room. Room 308. Room 308 has remained vacant ever since. The door locked and marked under renovation. Some nights when I work late, I swear I see a shadow standing at the window of room 308, staring out at the dark, snow-covered street. And on the coldest, quietest nights, when the storm howls and the hotel sleeps, I sometimes hear a whisper on the phone, a man's voice, strained and desperate. Please, there's someone in my room.